As we've got another Travis Scott Jordan. Adidas is finally releasing the Fear of God collab, and Adidas is burning Yeezys. We've got a ton to get into today, guys, but let's quickly hit up this release recap, and it's pretty quiet. So we had the Neapolitan Jordan 11s. Let me know if anybody went for those. And of course, the Off-White Air Force 1s. I actually saw these things sitting in a store, which was pretty wild to see. A pair of Off-White Nikes sitting in a store for retail, not selling out. Either way, let me know what you grabbed, let me know what you didn't, but let's hop into this upcoming stuff, and let's kick it off with some updates of some releases that are right around the corner. April Skateboards Nike SB Dunk Low. These are not going to be dropping tomorrow on the 13th. They're actually going to be dropping on November the 27th. If you want to get some more details on this pair of dunks, then check out the video in either one of these corners, whichever one. Now, the TIGHTBOOTH SBs are right around the corner on November the 14th. I'm pretty sure some skate shops have already dropped them, but as you can see, they are loaded up to the Nike sneakers app, ready to go. It's a solid pair of SBs if you can get them for retail. Now, Adidas is still going to be pumping out their Simpsons collaboration. We've got a bunch more of these silhouettes dropping this week. Take a look at my favorite, the Adidas Adifoam Superstar. This is the all-over cloud one. Now, I do realize that some people are absolutely going to hate this pair of shoes because it is pretty wild if you wear these things with a bunch of clouds on your feet. But I think the colors are quite nice, and you know what, guys? I do actually like the Adifoam Superstar. It's pretty comfortable. It's definitely wild, but with the right outfit, it's pretty solid. Now, this and all of the other ones are going to be dropping November the 14th. It goes for the Adidas Forum Low Living Room, which is, yes, designed to be the Simpsons living room. These come with some carpet material on the toe box. They've got some suede all over it, even some corduroy. Finally, they've also got an NMD G1, which I've never tried that Adidas silhouette. I assume it's pretty comfortable because it does have all over boost. And this one, they keep it a little bit more simple than the rest. You've literally just got Homer's face peeking out from the Adidas 3 stripes. Right, final Jordan 4 for this year. We've got a couple updates on this pair. Of course, I'm talking about the Craft Olive Jordan 4. These things, we've spoke about them. Nice materials, somewhat decent colorway. And if you're going to be going for these, well, you should know that your chances are looking relatively good. There's going to be about 400,000 pairs. I do think that that's pretty standard for Jordan 4s. I don't think it's like a ridiculously large amount. I do still expect these things to sell out. Yeah, it's kind of harder to gauge the demand for this pair of sneakers, but if you do want them, again, these are going to be dropping on November the 18th via the sneakers app and a bunch of different places. We've got some more pretty vague leaks of upcoming sneakers. One of them is actually going to be dropping this year, and that is a brand new Joe Freshgoods New Balance 990 V4. We've got a couple pictures. All are pretty hard to see what the actual shoe looks like. All over black and white silhouette, which I think looks really, really solid. Also got these two images over here where you can see them wearing it, which looks to be an alternate colorway of white and black. Pretty New Balance looking pair of New Balances. Nothing too crazy going on in terms of changes. And honestly, it's pretty different for a Joe Freshgoods collaboration. Normally, they're pretty colorful silhouettes, a lot of pastel pinks and blues, but this definitely tones it down quite a lot. We're expecting them this year. No specific release date, so if we get any more information, I'll let you know. Another very vague leak, Patta and Nike are going to be doing another Air Max 1. This is going to be coming in 2024, and we've got no leaks of what this could look like, but judging on the previous ones that we've had, I expect they would be something a little bit different from like the wavy pattern of the Pattas that we had in the past. No release date on this, just at some point in 2024. And then this one is pretty much my favorite of vague leaks. I don't even know who takes these pictures or why they can't just take a picture of the entire shoe, but we have this, just a really close-up shot of the laces. This is going to be the xRayssa Leal Nike SB Dunk Low, which is going to be dropping in springtime next year. Now, the mock-ups that we had of this pair of shoes was this, just like this ombre faded effect of like purples and blues. So this image definitely changes what people thought this was going to look like. Now, the color code does still remain the same, pure platinum, deep royal blue, vivid purple, white, gum yellow. So again, that does kind of play into what this image is over here. I'm sure we'll get some updated ones pretty soon if people already have this in hand. NIGO and Nike might be working together on an upcoming pair of sneakers because he was spotted wearing an unreleased Nike Air Force 3 Low Escape. It looks very, very similar to this pair of highs from 2005, like literally the colorway and everything. Now look, ever since the news broke that NIGO was going to be working with Nike again and like cut ties with Adidas, I think that people have kind of been on high alert of like, what are they going to release? What silhouette? Yeah, if this pair does release, it will look relatively similar to this 2005 pair, which I think in a low cut version could look pretty solid. This is apparently supposed to be dropping next next year. Salehe Bembury is teasing this upcoming pair of sneakers that I think originally we thought were boots. Well, now we know that they are in fact a sneaker. So take a look at these things. They are in a box, which I essentially assume is going to be the actual retail box. If you purchase this pair of shoes, it would come in something that looks like this. This is the image over here that we've kind of been operating on. This is the shoe that everybody thought was a boot that Salehe Bembury was going to work on with Crocs. However, as you can see from this image, it very clearly is a low top pair of shoes, not a pair of boots. It's got a wild looking outsole. Like, this looks absolutely crazy and would kind of follow in line with the Crocs in terms of that like fingerprint style with all of the ridges and grooves. This does look interesting, it looks fun, and I'm not a huge fan of this colorway, but maybe if they dropped some different colors, I would be interested. Again, this should be dropping next year, 2024, and I'm sure we're gonna get more leaks relatively soon. We actually got some official images now, and some better ones, of the highly anticipated Air Jordan 4 Bred Reimagined. Again, just to remind you guys, are going to be dropping February the 17th, which is really creeping up on us. I feel like I always think 2024 is ages away, but now I'm realizing it is right around the corner. We've got the GS sizes in official images, and it looks like they're going to be just as great quality as the men's pair. Here's some great images of the actual men's pair. You can see that tumbled leather is looking pretty ridiculously good. Any kind of material change, it upsets some people, just like we saw with the Royal Ones, which crazily enough are still sitting. Maybe the material had a lot to do with that. I'm not entirely sure. Drop your thoughts down in the comment section. I think there's a decent amount of people that are just genuinely hyped for another pair of Breds and are actually happy that it's now coming in leather. Adidas coming back with the cartoon collaborations. We've got our first looks at the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Adidas collaboration. So these are going to be called, obviously, Shell Toes. They're going to celebrate the franchise's 40th anniversary in February 2024. Now, we've actually got some images of these things. One of my favorite details is that shell toe, which has actually got like a print on it to look like a turtle shell. The leather looks pretty nice. It also makes it look like a turtle. I think my favorite thing about this pair of shoes is the packaging. I pray they do actually ship in packaging like this. That would just be a cool display for someone who's a huge fan. Solid collaboration. I think it's pretty cool. Is it my favorite sneaker to put on my feet? Probably not. Sean Wotherspoon's hemp Adidas Gazelle is going to finally be dropping November the 17th for $140. Probably gonna sell out. Like, that is a decently hyped silhouette at the moment, along with the Samba. Materials and just the design in general looks very, very different, very crazy. You've got some mad embroidery. Yeah, overall, it's not bad looking either. All right, we got to talk about one of the most hyped sneakers, which is dropping right around the corner. A pretty weird thing is going on with these things. So, of course, I'm talking about the Ma Maniere Air Jordan 5. As you know, we've got two colorways, a black pair and a white pair. It's called Dusk and Dawn. So Dusk is going to be this pair over here, and Dawn is going to be the white pair, this one over here. Now, they actually have two different release dates, which is pretty interesting. I thought that they would drop together. You can head over to Ma Maniere's website and you can enter the raffle for the Dawn colorway, which again is the white one. They're going to be dropping on November the 17th. Now, we've got some good news and some pretty weird news. So the good news is that these are going to be made in extended sizing. They retail at $225, and if you enter the raffle and you win, you're going to be charged an extra $5. This apparently is called the EQL launch fee, which is just going to help them basically run a fair launch and stop bots, I believe. Seems like a little bit of a weird thing. I've never seen any other company do this, where they charge a fee to run the raffle. I mean, I'm pretty sure I thought that this was illegal, that sneaker companies couldn't actually charge money for raffles. I could be completely wrong about that. Yeah, that's the release information for this Dawn colorway. Now, the black one is not going to be dropping alongside it. Like I said, they're going to be dropping a little bit later on November the 22nd. As of right now, it's going to just be through Ma Maniere's website. We don't know if these are going to be dropping through the Nike Sneakers app just yet. I imagine so, maybe after the Ma Maniere website, like a week or two later. Let me know what you think about Ma Maniere's raffle fee. Is that something you would happily pay to stop bots, or do you think that they're charging enough for the sneakers, let me just buy the damn pair of shoes and keep it moving? Travis Scott has another pair of Jordans that we just got a good look at. As we know, Jumpman Jack is going to be the silhouette that Travis Scott is going to be dropping with Jordan Brand, his first very own sneaker silhouette. We've got a bunch of colorways that are coming. We've spoken about this almost every single week because some new information pops up. This is the very latest one to be leaked, an all over black mocha pair, which looks pretty cool. Funnily enough, this sneaker color actually follows along with the same color code as one of these models that have been listed to drop in springtime 2024. This is not a sample. They've already finished production, I imagine, because the release is supposed to be right around the corner of some of these colorways. I believe it's like the olive one that's going to be dropping this year at least, all supposed to be dropping holiday 2023, which literally means in the next couple weeks or at some point in December. It almost seems like Travis Scott is taking his Jordan 1 Low colors and then putting them on this Jumpman Jack model. Like, this looks relatively similar to the first Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott that they did. Obviously, we've got the olives, look similar to the olive colorway, and the mocha pair looks similar to the reverse mochas. We've had enough Jordan 1s as of right now. I think it's cool, it's refreshing. We're getting a brand new silhouette and I'm here for it. So if we get any more information, I'll let you guys know. All right, let's get into this Yeezy news. Now look, Adidas has been pretty bipolar about this whole situation. They've said one thing, now they're flipping onto another thing. They've said, hey, we're gonna release him, we're gonna destroy him, we're gonna release him, we're gonna destroy him. But it looks like as of right now, they're leaning to the side of destroying these Yeezys. So last week we spoke about the probability that Adidas would drop the remainder of the Yeezys that they have in their inventory. However, right now we've got updated information from Bjorn Gulden, the CEO of Adidas. So Adidas' CEO, Bjorn Gulden, confirmed on a press conference call today that it's exploring the possibility of writing off all of the remaining Yeezy inventory altogether. The brand confirmed that it has around 300 million euros worth of Yeezys left and is currently exploring the possibility of writing off all of these shoes, so literally just burning them. Now this would accrue a one-off cost of 200 million euros for Adidas, which is a lot better from what they were facing, which was something like 500 to 700 million euros. So as we know, Adidas has done 2 Yeezy releases and that brought in $800 million of revenue for them. According to Complex, that was about 40% of their remaining Yeezy stock. So they've still got 60% of these Yeezys hanging about. But yeah, as of right now, anybody who was interested in copying any more Yeezys or hoping that Adidas would drop more of them in the future, well, this article doesn't make things look very good. I originally thought that it was just going to be like a no-brainer. Adidas would end up releasing these Yeezys, but just to see that they're again contemplating just writing them off and now they have a significantly smaller amount than they started with, I wouldn't actually be surprised if they did just decide to axe it and call it a day for Yeezy. It is a developing story. Things always seem to be changing, so if we get any more news, I will let you guys know. And if you want to know some of the Yeezy sneakers that were supposed to drop this month, well, check out last week's episode. Sticking with Adidas, of course, they've got their Fear of God collaboration that we've been waiting on for literally years at this point. One of the latest updates is that they're now teasing a Fear of God Adidas and Prada collaboration for 2025. I don't want to hear another word out of you guys until we get that first collaboration. Just don't even tell me about your next plans in 2025. I believe it was Jerry Lorenzo himself who teased this upcoming collaboration as Prada, Adidas, and Fear of God. This picture has since been removed from Jerry Lorenzo's Instagram, so I don't know whether Adidas was like, hey, maybe we just slow it down a little bit and we just drop the first collaboration before you start running a mouth about other ones. A couple days later, Adidas' CEO Bjorn Gulden said that they're finally doing it. We literally said in the next couple weeks, we will finally have the Fear of God product that we talked about for a couple years ago. Yeah, there's a ton to look forward to with this collaboration. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for them to just freaking drop it. I'm excited to try it out. I think they do look pretty solid, and it's cool to just see Adidas do something else other than just harp on about Yeezys that they're gonna drop or they're not gonna drop. As soon as we get a finalized release date for this collaboration, I will let you guys know. As of right now, it's looking like December the 8th, which is what we spoke about a couple weeks ago. Last piece of Adidas news, we've got our first look at the upcoming Adidas Harden Volume 8, looking very different and pretty futuristic. We do have some other images as well over here. We've got like a white colorway. It's looking pretty cool. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see this pair of shoes when it does release. As of right now, it looks like they're going to be dropping spring 2024. Final story for today, and what better to end on than Nike just going after other brands. Nike has one of the hardest working lawyers of any company, I believe. They've just got so many lawsuits going on. This time, Nike is suing New Balance and Skechers over their Flyknit technology. So Nike says that both of these brands have infringed on several of their patents. Nike has been pretty notorious for suing people specifically for their Flyknit. In the past, Nike has sued Puma, Adidas, and Lululemon for the Flyknit technology. So now they're just going after everyone. They're like, you know what? Nobody's touching this stuff. In this, you can actually see some of the silhouettes that they're talking about, specifically from New Balance. So some of the fresh foam models, even one of their football shoes, which is pretty wild. They're requesting damages, enhanced damages, and a permanent injunction that would prohibit New Balance from selling any of these alleged infringing footwear. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what comes out of this. I believe Nike has a bunch of ongoing lawsuits at the moment, like StockX. I'm pretty sure the Lululemon one is still ongoing, and probably a bunch others. That wraps it up for this week's Sneaky Sundays. Again, we do this every single week, so make sure you join me next week and subscribe to the channel. Hey, last week was a banger, so catch up on that episode over there.